The one factor that could decide the 2024 election laid bare in exclusive polling. As President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump prepare for their first debate on Thursday, an exclusive poll has revealed the one factor that could decide the results of the 2024 election. Millions of Americans will be tuning in on Thursday night for the candidates' highly anticipated debate in Atlanta hosted by CNN. The debate offers both Biden and Trump a rare opportunity to try to gain momentum in an extremely close race that will likely be decided by a small fraction of voters in a handful of battleground states. Trump explains his chosen VP pick will be at Thursday's debate against Biden. 4 debate predictions for Biden and Trump's first showdown on CNN. An exclusive Democracy Institute, the Daily Express U.S. poll released on Wednesday, shows that Black Americans will likely be the key voting bloc during this year's election, and Biden will probably come out on top. The poll of 500 likely U.S. voters shows that 80% of Black voters said they will support Biden, while 19% said they will support Trump. And while Biden has lost some Black voters in swing states like Michigan and Pennsylvania, the president is likely to regain the same voters he had in 2020. David Paleologos, director of Suffolk's Political Research Center, said to USA Today. Some of those voters can be captured back by Biden, including the people who said they weren't voting for Biden. A chunk of them said I still could come back to him. That's the silver lining for Biden. The Biden campaign has revved up its spending on messaging to Black voters this year, and talked up parts of its record that it hopes will appeal to Black Americans. Speaking to Black voters in Philadelphia in May, Biden said, "I'll be damned if I'm going to let Donald Trump turn America into a place of anger, resentment, and hate. My question is a simple one. Are you with me?" Biden told the crowd that a second Trump term would pose a significant threat. The president said, "This is the same guy who wanted to tear gas you as you peacefully protested George Floyd's murder. The same guy who still calls the Central Park Five guilty, even though they were exonerated. Here's that landlord who denies housing applications because of the color of your skin." Hillary Clinton outlines 3 things voters should watch in Biden versus Trump debate. CNN cuts off interview with Trump press secretary after attacks on Jake Tapper. The history of presidential debates as Biden and Trump set to face off. Thursday's debate setting in Georgia is fitting, as the state was the battleground that yielded the closest 2020 margin of any state and became the epicenter of Trump's efforts to overturn Biden's win. Now, in their rematch, Georgia will test which man can best assemble a winning coalition despite their respective weaknesses. For Biden, the challenge is replicating the coalition that delivered his razor-thin margin victory in 2020. Responding to warnings from Georgia Democrats that he must engage with Black voters, the president has visited routinely, and Vice President Kamala Harris has made 5 trips to Georgia this year. Quentin Fulks, Biden's deputy campaign manager, said to NPR in January, "Our campaign has been putting in the work to do everything we need to do to communicate with communities of color next fall to make sure they turn out. Voters of color have the most at stake in this election, and we need to make sure every single one of them understands the choice in front of them." But in swing state Wisconsin, Black voters in Milwaukee have serious doubts about Biden and whether he has delivered on his promises to them. A low turnout of Black voters in Milwaukee would deal a significant blow to Biden's chances of carrying the crucial battleground. Angela Lang, the founder of Black Leaders Organizing for Communities in Milwaukee, said to Politico, "I think there's a messaging problem. The policies that Biden campaigned on are stuck in Congress. Maybe some education needs to be set around it. People still want to know you're fighting and that you're still advocating for the issues. People need to kind of have those dots connected about the process sometimes." Many Black voters in the city said they don't feel prioritized by Biden, and some even said they would rather just stay home than go to the voting booth in November. Trump, meanwhile, has boasted that he will make inroads among Black voters. And some experts have said that if a portion of Black voters stay home, or Biden's share drops even a little, Trump could benefit. As a way to sway Black voters, Trump has used the argument that Biden's border policies are hurting the Black community as immigrants enter the country illegally. The GOP nominee told Black voters at a campaign event in Detroit earlier this month, The people coming across the border, all those millions of people, they're inflicting tremendous harm to our black population and to our Hispanic population. The Democracy Institute, the Daily Express US poll also surveyed Hispanic voters, with 51% saying they would support Biden and 48% saying Trump. As for how much of an impact Thursday's debate will have on voters' decisions this fall, an expert exclusively told Daily Express US that the debate likely won't be make or break, as there will be a lot of time between the debate and the general election for voters to change their minds. Michael Traugott, a poll expert and research professor at the University of Michigan, said to Daily Express US, "There could be a short-term impact of the debate, both among viewers and those who are exposed to news coverage of it, but it is far enough in advance of the real campaign that its effects could be offset by action of the candidates. And it's been a tumultuous election season so far, so it's likely both candidates will have plenty to say before November's election." Follow Daily Express US. Get all the latest news, entertainment, sport and lifestyle updates from our dedicated American team. Follow on Facebook and Twitter at Express US News.